Welcome to this edition of Modern Dallas TV. I'm Jeff Levine with ModernDallas.net. This week, we visit a mid-century modern in the Janmar area, talk with Mary Tomas about their show, Giants, and introduce a new segment, 365 Modern Living, and updates on our calendar and the art scene. Enjoy the show. Modern Dallas Real Estate visits a mid-century modern in the fabulous Janmar area. Listed by Steve Rosenthal and Paige Fielder of Ali Beth Ullman and Associates, Janmar is located east of Hillcrest Avenue, west of Central Expressway, south of Forest Lane, and north of Baxtershire and Mason Dells Drive. It's an attractive neighborhood with rolling hills, creeks, and a serene place to live. Approximately 200 homes, which include mid-century modern homes, renovated ranch-style homes from the 50s and the 60s, as well as plenty new construction. This home has some of the original mid-century modern elements on a stunningly elevated 0.4-acre lot. Exquisitely renovated, features a vaulted ceiling with a huge wood beam. The home has it all: a gourmet kitchen, 4 beds, 3.5 bathrooms on the main level, large outdoor patio for entertaining, and plenty of room for a pool. Let's not forget there is a lower level that includes a media or game room and a full bath. Listed at $997,000, it's close to Whole Foods, Mercury Grill, Me Casino, Hillcrest High School, and plenty of private schools. You can see the house at alibeth.com or on our real estate pages at moderndallas.net. Modern Dallas Art is here at Mary Tomas Gallery. I'm here with Mary Tomas. We're going to talk about Giants. The show incorporates large works. Mary, how did you come to Giants?
Well, hello, Jeff. We're so excited about Giants because several of the artists that we represent display really large paintings, and we are excited about showing off the passion and the excitement that it takes to do large pieces.
This is one of the artists, Johannes
Boekhout. Yeah, Dutch Caribbean.
And tell us about this piece. It's got so much energy and so much going on, but I know there's a story behind it.
Yes. Well, Johannes Boekhout, his first experience in New York City, he was passionate about the city, and you can see in the way in which he has painted this painting that his experience, and it just exudes the New York City kind of ambiance and excitement and energy. And the way he has painted this, you can just feel the strokes, that it's just impactful, huge, larger than life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. Who are some of the other artists in the show?
Well, we have several Boekhouts, and then we have Roy Tamboli, an amazing sculptor and painter. And then we have Fred Villanueva, who does mural-size works of art. And then we have Norland Santana from Nicaragua.
Stop by Mary Tomas Gallery. It's located at
1110 Dragon Street.
Modern Dallas TV introduces our new segment, 365 Modern Living. And we're at the home of David Rolston, a landscape architect, and Julie Cohn, a jewelry designer in the Lakewood area, finding out about what they do and how they live this lifestyle. So David, thanks for inviting us into this magnificent Garden of Eden. Tell us what it takes to create a space like this on the outside.
Well, what I do, I use a lot of flexibility. I get inspired by things, I do things, I see where they lead, I change them over time. This garden has been everything, with a lot of flowers that are perennials that repeat themselves, to very minimalistic grasses. All kinds of different gardens have existed in here over the years because I use it as an experimental place for my business, and I learn about textures and color and arrangements and spaces. We're in a garden room that's a lower garden room in our garden that's about 4 to 5 feet lower than the rest of the garden. And it's a really interesting little nook. And we've got nooks all over the garden.
So David, you talk about nooks. This is another nook in this magnificent garden, and I love the water. Are these features you add in to gardens, and is it important to have a water feature?
Well, I think water is always important in a garden. It can be a pain when it doesn't work, but if you make them low maintenance enough, this is just a fish pond with just an upjet. It's not complicated. It doesn't even have filtration. Now, a koi pond person might go a little bit crazy over not having things perfect, but I do things from a maintenance standpoint, and I do a lot of low maintenance things like allow nature to take its own path in here. It may not be the most perfect, but it's really beautiful, it's enjoyable, and doesn't cause me a lot of work, and I have the sound of water in my garden.
So David, this is sort of the final room in this design of this magnificent garden. This lends itself to being a little bit more modern, a lot of textures. What does it take to create a modern garden? And obviously this plays into it a little bit.
Well, we've got sight lines here that lead to destinations. We've got steel, we've got concrete, we've got a formal patio over here. So the patio is something that is very rigid and structured, and it's formalized, but it's a very comfortable space because we add all the pots, we warm it up, it feels like a comfortable space. A lot of textures, a lot of perennials that soften the modern look.
And what does it take to take care of a modern garden during the summer in Dallas?
Well, gardens in general kind of slow down metabolically in the summertime because it's so hot, they kind of shut down, so the weeds don't grow as quickly. The grass likes it, it grows pretty quickly, but really it's a lot of just grass mowing and edging and stuff like that. You do most of your work in the spring and in the fall, and then in the summertime you get to just relax and bear the heat.
So here we are at the other side of the house, which is Julie's studio, where she creates these magnificent, stunning jewelry pieces. Julie, if you can take 1 second, tell us what's the inspiration behind this collection?
You know, I have looked at this view for 15 years. I mean, I've basically been officing out of the house for 15 years. I never, I guess I'm kind of slow. I never really thought about how much that impacted what I did in here. You know, I've designed wall covering, I've designed rugs, I designed handmade books. I mean, I've done a lot of different things. And it was not really until like a few years ago that I even realized how much of an impact that view had on what I did. And so, you know, I walk at the lake, which is at the end of the block, and I wouldn't say I work as a replication of nature, but I would say that the forms, there is a convergence of modern form with organic form. And I think that's what inspires me about, you know, I'll look at the way a vine is draping out of a pot out there, and I'll just think, God, if I could only make a necklace that had that kind of randomness to it. So I think it was very unconscious. It wasn't like, oh, Dave's a landscape architect, I'm gonna make organic jewelry. I think my work has just, you know, for 30 years has just been an evolution, and it's sort of whatever materials I'm working in at that point in time, that's what the vision gets translated into. And, you know, for the last 4 or 5 years, it's been jewelry. And I actually, this is the most fun I've had of any of the things that I've designed, I would say.
David, Julie, tell us about your experience living this 365 modern lifestyle in this home.
I think for me, Dave and I early on divided the house between interior and exterior. And exterior is his domain and interior is my domain. So I think everything about when I wake up in the morning, I'm looking at something beautiful. I'm surrounded by things that I love, that are edited. So I try and minimize the amount of things I have in the house that are not aesthetically pleasing to me. Hopefully I've done a good job. But I also have this beautiful relationship to the outdoors when I get up. And I just, even though I'm not an outdoorsy person, there is something about the seamlessness of the inside to the outside that is a soothing beginning to my day and for the entire day.
And then for me, when I come home from work, I work in an office building. I drive all day long to the appointments and stuff. I come home and I see all the green of outdoors. I see the windows open up, and I just get a release of just seeing calmness and a tranquil interior and a great porch that I love. And it all leads to the outdoors, and that's what I love. It's just the house leading me outdoors again.
I'm sure you both have your favorite features of this beautiful home. What stands out to each one of you?
I think probably the most unbelievable part of the house for me is the sliding glass door between the kitchen and the screen-in porch. So that essentially, because we do entertain a lot, we can make that wall go away. And that, to me, is a really fantastic experience of indoors and outdoors simultaneously. Because we have an outdoor room outside, I can be cooking, I can be talking to people, and there is no barrier at that point.
And one of the things that we did that changed all that is the porch used to be 1.5 feet lower than it is now. We raised that up so it's the same level as the house, and that has made a world of difference of how much we use the outdoor porch and enjoy it. And the outdoor porch leads to one of my favorite things, which is the reflective pool out here. And the reflecting pool puts all these water patterns on the ceiling. And it's really quite beautiful. In the morning, all I see in the morning is the water dancing around on the ceiling. It's a great view.
Experience LED at Lights Fantastic Pro, our sponsor on Modern Dallas TV. Lighting is changing at warp speed, and there's definitely an LED revolution going on. You'll see a curated selection of some of the coolest new LED fixtures from some of the best brands around the world. Visit their 12,000 square foot showroom minutes from the new Nebraska Furniture Mart in Louisville off the Sam Rayburn Tollway. Come see for yourself how lighting can enhance and change your next project. To wrap up this week on Modern Dallas, we have our calendar of events: Dallas Modern Meetup on July the 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. at Ree Gallery in the Cedars at 1717 Gould Street. The Dallas Center for Architecture has a feature on noted photographer Carolyn Brown at 6 p.m. at Fair Park Hall of State. On the art scene, Zulong Gallery hosts an event on July the 25th, Soft Power Intimacy from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. And if you're in the market for a modern, mid-century modern, contemporary, high-rise or loft, we simply have the finest moderns in Dallas. And until next week, it's a wrap.